All right, welcome to the Regretful Pirates. I'd like to talk about the misused definitions of the aquarium trade. I've been going through them, and there's several that caught my eye, but there's one in particular they've been misusing here lately called tank raised. The reason it's being so misused and everybody needs to know about it is because when they use this term, what they're actually doing is they're going out into the wild and using what's called a plankton tow, and they're dragging these big nets around that funnels everything back into a small cup. And what they're catching is the trillions of plankton that's in that special column up at the top where all the babies go until they settle after a certain amount of time. But while they're up there, they're easy grabbings. You just drag big nets around and collect trillions and trillions and trillions of the offspring of the ocean. And then you take these and you go back and you pick through them and you find the few that you want and you raise them up and you call them tank raised and you sell them into the industry as some kind of aquacultured better type of conservation because it didn't waste as much like collecting does. Well, it actually wastes more. You're now messing with the source. You killed trillions of things just to raise a few. All the other stuff is wasted as a bycatch in their plankton toes. There's these people in Hawaii, I believe it is, that are going out while the fish are in their mating stage, special night, full moon, whatever. They go out and they find them doing their thing, and then they collect their larvae before the larvae get a chance to settle. And then they can take these and raise them up and call them tank raised. They're at the source. They're now messing at the source of where all this life comes from. Are we going to let these people just go out there and stop it at where all of them come from? They've now figured out a loophole because these babies, these little tiny things, aren't governed by their fish and wildlife laws. They only worry about size and limit when they get to a certain size. They don't care about if you go out and drag around and catch all the tiny babies and kill them, then try to fool and deceive everybody into believing it's something better for the environment. Oh, they're tank raised, they're aquaculture, they're this, they're that. It's conservation. It's nothing of the sort. It's worse for the environment than anything they've ever thought of before. And they're still using poisons. Down in Florida, you can get a permit for quitildine and you can go out and knock them out and scoop them up. It's going on. It's still going on right here in America. And it really doesn't matter whether they're tank raised, aquacultured, or caught from the wild. They all go into the same flawed system that kills them all now. None of them are living, so they can sell more next month. And most of them are sent to accredited aquariums or zoos. Well, think about that. They're accredited by AZA, which is called the Association of Aquariums and Zoos. It's basically made up of themselves. It's the kids watching the cookie jar. And the only reason they self accreditate themselves is so they can sell more expensive animals to other aquariums and zoos. There's no animals going back into the wild. It's illegal to put them back into the wild once they've been mixed in an aquarium or zoo. Now, they try to do conservation by association. You'll see, like the Georgia Aquarium will have a penguin thing on down somewhere where they're really doing conservation. They're trying to help penguins. But the Georgia Aquarium wants to get a hold of penguins, so they make a big deal and they make a deal with them and they go, "Oh, well, we'll call this, positive reinforcement and you give us some penguins and we'll promote you and you promote us and we'll pretend we're doing conservation and we're helping penguins somehow by associating ourselves with you when actually we're killing penguins on a regular basis. Even if a couple of them have babies, you're still reordering more. You're ordering more of everything on a regular basis. Public aquariums and zoos are an illusion. They have to maintain this illusion. They make a big deal out of a couple of stingrays, which are the guppies of the sea, having babies, and they love it when we train them to come over here and eat food that we call enrichment now instead of tricks for food is what it's really called. These public aquariums and zoos are lying to you people. It is a big scam. They are being ripped out of the ocean on a daily basis. They're being pumped through the pet industry, and they're coming into these aquariums and zoos every day because they got to maintain the illusion. They got to keep up the the life in the tanks that are dying off all the time. Oh, but the couple of sea turtles they helped last year will make up for the 10,000 creatures we lose a month. Yeah, right. It's time we spread the word about these people and what they're really doing. It's a scam. It's a nonprofit scam. They are making millions of dollars a year. Just ask their CEOs. They're not doing anything for life. All they are is a part of the wildlife trade. Is in fact they make up the wildlife trade. Most of this stuff is being killed because of the demand that is created by aquariums, pet stores, and zoos. It's a scam, and it's not conservation. They're not tank raised. They're not aquacultured. They're all dead fish swimming.